downtown Charlotte. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Rolling to his right. Try to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Trubisky. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. He'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or two in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Trubisky will throw.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself.
And the Steelers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole. Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
58. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Panthers are back within a score.
And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away.
Taking it about the 1. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that.
He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Here's Trubisky. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 18.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Amari Barno, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now...
And it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Rodgers now to throw. Flushed out right. That'll be caught by Anderson. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And Thomas has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. The 20, 5, and he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 for a Steeler touchdown. And that pick-6, Charles, that moves it up now to a 3-touchdown advantage. A great individual defensive effort there to continue what has been a very lopsided first half.
And I better buckle in my seatbelt, right? Because you know, as a former DB, when I see a pick-6, I'm up and jumping up and down watching it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be neutral, but those kind of plays, they excite me every time. They are in absolute control in this one. Nice play there.
John Jackson on the return. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chris Wormley able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
He's going to look deep for more. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play there for Carolina. And even 50 yards.
Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Aaron Rodgers keeping it himself on the quarterback sneak.
And the Panthers are able to cut into that deficit. Nice job of polishing off that drive, and all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Trubisky to throw.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Trubisky to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I would have a return punch, but I would imagine it's caught at the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big pickup of 38.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So no touchdown that time, but they do get 3 more, and now they have even more of a cushion.
It's been a terrific first half offensively, so it's hard to blame them for not getting into the end zone there. But the way they've been moving the ball in this one, I don't think these will be their final points of the game.
Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Carolina. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Panthers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about
and now here is another interception. Dante Jackson picks it, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Deep ball for Goodwin. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Panthers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is down to 4. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with a little under a minute to go, it's still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now it's Trubisky. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Being chased out left. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Panthers 27. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. A beautiful fake. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They hand this off to Harris, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for...
He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Rodgers.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jeremy Chin picks it off. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect 2nd half. And down 3 scores, a lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 32 yards. And the Panthers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Rodgers will throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte. On the give, this is Harris. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Man, and all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Trubisky. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return, Jackson. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Carl Joseph.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
On first down, Trubisky.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And some room to work. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 50 yards. They're good at running the screen. Sometimes it's probably taken for granted, though. You need a good deal of deception in there, don't you?
You certainly do. And you know what else you need? The people who aren't involved in the deception to make sure they hold their blocks and someone doesn't flash too quickly in the face of the quarterback.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Najee Harris, well built for work down here near the end zone. That's a nice job there to hold him up. But I doubt we've seen the last of him on this drive.
And I don't think he got in. The big bodies up front held him at the 1. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Taken in at the 3.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
Deshaun Jackson on the return. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college. So sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On third down, Trubisky. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. It's Najee Harris now on back-to-back plays with a catch. And the Steelers are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. This is Harris. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Lock in.
On third and goal, Trubisky. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And my goodness, another interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take over at their own 41. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, It's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's the defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Only took him 3 plays, and they're already in the red zone, just like that. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know what he thinks going on out there, CD.
That's a
touchdown, Panthers. Marquise Goodwin. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Here's Trubisky. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it,
he's got a man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Steelers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. He's got this to Pickens. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Trubisky will throw. Finding Pickens for another catch. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now Trubisky to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Trubisky to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. The 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now a give, running left is Harris. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now...
And my goodness, another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Pittsburgh, their chances of finishing over 500, they remain alive as they move to 6-8 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.